Hello and welcome to Visions. I'm Helen Roshkood. Our guests today are Verity Greswell and Lillian Grace. Welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Helen.
Well, Lillian, in 2006 you had a vision and published a book called The Mastery Club. I read it. In fact, I've read it twice and I've really enjoyed it. I especially liked the fiction way of the way the book was written. And how the principles were just really well explained. It was a really easy read, and I applied them to my life.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I really do. It's fantastic.
You have to tell me more about that.
Yeah, so would you mind giving us a brief description of the book, please?
Sure, thank you. Okay, well, The Mastery Club is narrated by a girl called Natalie, who's about 12 years old, and she feels that her life is fairly boring. So she escapes into fantasy stories and Harry Potter and all that kind of thing. And into her life comes this green-haired girl, Natalie, who's on the cover there. Nina. Into her life comes Nina. And Nina has had a very different sort of upbringing, where she's been brought up by parents who have been studying personal development, universal laws, that sort of thing, since she was a baby, since she was a toddler. And so that's been her world. She hasn't actually been to school yet. She's been home educated, and so she's really grown up in a very different world. She comes to school with the intention now, for a short period of time she's going to be at school, and she comes with the intention of forming a mastery club, which will be kind of like a support group for visionary young people who want to set and achieve goals and create the lives of their dreams, and do it in a supportive environment with some other young people. So it's a story, basically a manual, a personal development manual in story form.
That's right, and it covers those universal principles. That's right, yeah, and it's really well explained, you know, chapter by chapter, and how they set those goals for a start, and then ultimately how they achieve them, and any kind of boundaries and challenges along the way, and that they just keep on going. Yeah. So what's been happening with the book since it was published?
Okay, I'll give you a quick summary here. I wrote the book, I felt that I'd written the book for sort of 9 to 15-year-olds, and I thought when I wrote it that I was writing for the children of adults who engage in personal development. So that personal development sort of market was what I thought I was addressing. What really surprised me was the breadth, you know, the range of ages that responded to the book. It was literally, mothers were contacting me saying they're reading the book to their 4-year-olds, and people in their 70s, you know, were contacting me. So it was literally everything from very young children to our seniors. And also it went into the schools much faster than I'd expected. So there are quite a few schools all over Australia who are using the book in the classroom and teaching from it. And that really blew me away. That was awesome. So I've received beautiful, beautiful emails from people of all ages saying how they're applying the ideas in the book and how inspiring they found it. People who've been new to the ideas, people who've been long-time students of personal development, all telling me they're getting something out of it. And overseas as well, you know, so New Zealand, Hawaii, South Africa, it's just sort of spreading its wings. And then people have been starting clubs based on the book, like bringing it to life, which is very much what we're here to talk about today, I think. And yeah, more and more. But
that's wonderful. And so how did you come to meet Verity?
Well, that was a wonderful moment for me. I was actually at an event, a personal development event, and I was signing books because I've been invited to make my books available to all the people who were there. And Verity came. It was actually an event for adults, and Verity amazed me by turning up out of the blue, this 12-year-old amongst all these adults, because she's so committed to her growth that she was there doing this event. And she came up and told me she'd read my book and loved it, and that she was planning to start a club herself. And I was really I was so honoured by that. But I think what's really struck me since then is that she did it, and she's gone on to, you know, she's been running a club for over a year and doing brilliantly.
Starting your own mastery club, Verity.
Yes, yes.
So what was it about the book that caught your attention? Besides the green hair.
Yes, it is pretty, it's there. I thought that as a 12-year-old reading it, the principles that were put forward by Lillian were so much easier to understand than the seminars. And even though I went to seminars and loved them, having a book to really just kind of drum it into you, not drum like that, but you know what I mean, it was just so much better in a way, because it was put in like a fiction sense, and so I could understand it and relate it to my back to my life and really just put it into action. So
That's wonderful. Yeah. And what you were saying before about drum, you can reread.
Yeah, and every
Yeah.
time I read it again, I think it was about 3 times I read it in total, I got something new from it.
That's the way, isn't it? Well, that's what happened to me too. The more and more you read something, the next time you read it, you get more out of it, or you see it from a different perspective.
Yeah.
So, when you took it upon yourself to read this book, you had a vision to start a club.
Yes.
And so, how did that go?
It had a bit of a rocky start at the first time of it, but as it gathered on and snowballed effect, I got more and more people from my friendship group to join, and a lot of my friends were actually kind of reluctant to accept those sort of ideas, and I was really excited about it and really pumped up about starting a club, but the friends were like, it's just stupid, you're going crazy, Verity, and well, actually, a few of my friends were interested, and genuinely interested, not just interested because they're my friend and didn't want to hurt my feelings. But those people who were actually interested came to my house, and we held a mastery club, and we'd meet weekly, and there was food, and also it was like a fun social gathering as well, and as well as coming together as a group of friends, we were able to talk about the principles of the mastery club and learn how to achieve our goals and so on.
Great. So we're actually going to go to break now because I'd really like to hear more and the audience to hear more about what actually happened in that Mastery Club and what you've actually created and people in the club have created. So as we go to break now, please stay tuned. We'll be back in a few minutes.